Hello, and welcome to Philip Brown's Computer Networking Lab. You're watching the instructional video called VLAN Trunking Protocol. VLAN Trunking Protocol is a Cisco proprietary protocol that runs over trunk links and synchronizes the VLAN databases of all switches in the VTP domain. A VTP domain is an administrative group. The VTP domain must be the same between all the switches. Also, the VTP password must be the same, and the connection to other switches must be in trunking mode in order for the switches to synchronize VTP information. VLAN trunking protocol has three modes to modify a switch behavior. The server mode can create, delete, and rename VLANs for both the switch that made the changes and for all the server and client switches it's connected to. This is the default VTP role. The client mode cannot make VLAN changes, but they can receive changes from the servers. The transparent mode can create, delete, and rename their own VLANs, but they cannot modify other switches. They will forward configuration information sent by other switches. The VTP domain command is used to configure the VLAN trunking protocol domain name into the switch. The VTP password command is used to configure the VLAN trunking protocol password into the switch. And since the switch port interface of a switch that links to the other switch has to be in trunking mode, I've also included the switch port mode trunk command. Here we are looking at the terminal window of switch 1. There are 4 switches. Switch 1 is going to become a server. Switch 2 is going to be transparent. Switch 3 is going to be a client. And switch 4 is going to be a server also. Let's look and see what VLANs switch 1 knows about. Switch 1 only has knowledge of VLAN 1, which is the default. Now let's configure VLAN trunking protocol on switch 1. We will need to set the domain, password, and type of mode, and also set the interfaces that are connected to other switches into trunking mode. Now let's look at the terminal window of switch 2. It also has the default VLANs of VLAN 1 and no others. Now let's set up the virtual trunking protocol on this switch also. We're going to put it in transparent mode. And we also have to put the interfaces that are connected to other switches in trunking mode. Now we're looking at the terminal window of switch 3. The only VLAN that it knows about is VLAN 1, which is the default. Again, we configure switch 3 with VLAN trunking protocol. And we'll also set its mode to client and put the ports that are connected to other switches into trunking mode. Finally, we're on the terminal window of switch 4. Like the others, it only knows about VLAN 1. We will configure VLAN trunking protocol on switch 4 also. And by default, switches are servers, as you can see. The connections to other switches will also have to be put in trunking mode. Now let's go back to switch 1. We will add 2 VLANs into it, VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. When we do a show VLAN command, we can see that VLAN 10 and VLAN 20 now appear. Now let's look at the terminal window of switch 2. We see that it does not know about VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. This is because it is in transparent mode. And here we are on switch 3. And on switch 3, we see that it does know about VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. So it's not able to modify anything to do with VLANs since it's a client. Finally, when we go to switch 4, we see that it also knows about VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. Notice that it learned about these VLANs even going through the transparent and client switches. Now let's look at switch 2 again. It's the one that did not know about the newly created VLANs. We can create a VLAN on switch 2 and none of the other switches will see it. Any VLANs created in transparent mode affects only that one switch. Here we are on switch 1. We can see that switch 1 knows nothing about the newly created VLAN 30. We saw how using the VLAN trunking protocol can make the jobs of administering VLANs between switches much more easier. I hope this video was informative and I thank you for viewing.